going on, everyone? Welcome to the interview. Today, we've got Adam Harper on the line, who's coming to Supreme Championships on May 21. Adam, we were just having a little bit of a chat about the fact that you're fighting alongside your younger brother, Josh, who recently competed against Ush Campbell. It was a close decision. It was a hard-fought loss. You were there. What was your thoughts on that performance?
So I was stood on the stage. Obviously, I was working at the event, helping out a bit with how it was running, and I was watching it. Everything that was going on, my mind was just going crazy. I couldn't really put it into words, to be honest. But yeah, it was a really good fight. I think Josh just didn't perform as well as he should have done. Ush was fighting really well, really, to be honest. Um, but yeah, I was just heartbroken, really. But fair enough, it is what it is.
You get nervous?
Um, Watching him fight, yeah, I do. Yeah. But when I stepped into the cage last month, I wasn't really nervous. I got in there and I was all right. I felt confident in my ability, even though I didn't perform as well as I should. But yeah, watching my brother fight, definitely, like, I get very nervous. Yeah.
Do you guys train together? Are you guys quite close? What's the relationship like on and off the mat?
So on the mat, we're a bit aggressive with each other. I don't. It's sort of every time we're sparring, everyone, Jordan or Nat makes the comment. Everyone go a bit light. Adam and Josh get your round off out of the way first because we know what's going to happen. Yeah, there's a bit of a competition with me and him. Who's the better fighter? Obviously, he's been training a little bit longer. Um, but on paper, he is the better fighter. But I like to think in my head that I am. So yeah,
One of the things that stuck out to me about hearing his story, we sat down, we did the interview. If you haven't watched the interview, go back and check it out. That was from the last Supreme Championships event. Is he actually confessed to being bullied? He actually confessed to
yeah,
doing dancing and other things growing up, and like how he had struggled in school. And then I pressed him. I said, "But surely your dancing career and all the other things you were doing must have helped you in martial arts." And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Do you think it might have been a different story with school and life growing up if you had found martial arts earlier?" And he thought about it for a second, and he sort of confessed that, yeah, it might have. What do you think about that? Because you know your brother obviously very well, and you train together.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think it was just the fact that he wasn't. I don't know. He kind of gets a bit aggressive, and when he gets aggressive, he likes to take himself out of the situation pretty much immediately. That's what got him kicked out of school in the first place. When he moved up to the school I was at, which is secondary school, or senior school. I don't even know. But anyway, when he was moved up to that school, he wasn't in there long, a few months. Um, but he would get told off by someone. He didn't like it. He'd leave. He'd walk out. And they basically kicked him out of the school, which is when he went to a learning centre, which I think has definitely helped him massively because I believe he got into boxing to start off with. So he was doing a bit of boxing there. Then somehow crossed paths with Nat. I think they were doing an MMA or some sort of boot camp with the students there. And then yeah, he just started going to the gym and he loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like the rest was history. I mean, because it was so cool to actually delve into what a life changing experience it was for him. But what about you? This just kind of came up from something you were interested in doing, or how did you end up doing the
yeah.
same thing?
So I've always been interested in fighting. This pretty much like I watch it all the time. I'm watching all the UFC events, watching as much Bellator events as I can. Cage Warriors. I kind of dip and dive into everything. Um, but yeah, I sort of saw that he was going. He's absolutely loving it. He's coming back limping from training. I'm like, I want to give him some of that. So I turned up and yeah, obviously I was the punching bag to start off with, but now I'm confident that I am not the punching bag anymore. Yeah,
Sometimes the hammer, sometimes the nail, right? You guys are going to be the Diaz Brothers of the Supreme MMA
yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Over or under 50% chance we see those guys back in the cage again, the Diaz Brothers?
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%.
I Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I just saw Stephen Thompson called out both of them, didn't he? That would be a Stephen Thompson versus one of the two Diaz brothers would be awesome.
Who's your favorite
Yeah.
fighter
What out of Nick and Nate, or just all
out
together?
of out of Nick and Nate?
It's gonna have to be Nate because he's just an animal, isn't he?
I don't
Yeah,
know,
I
man.
want
You gotta go back and watch some of those Strikeforce fights. Like you have to watch Diaz daily or Diaz versus Marius Saromskis or Melvin Monhoff, and I mean there was just so many crazy fights. Like earlier before Diaz, gained notoriety for taking out McGregor and some of those other things. There's some good rounds there. Who's your favorite fighter overall, though? Like if you had to pick an MMA or kickboxing fighter or boxer that you just really love.
so it's got to be Michael Chandler.
Ooh.
He's yeah. I've As soon as he came to the UFC, I was like, that's the name I've heard before. And then I binge watched videos from Michael Chandler, and yeah, I've just the way he fights. Obviously, it's not my style of fighting, because I'm taller, so I'm a little bit longer. But just watching him fight is crazy. He has some absolute wars, which is he is just an exciting fighter.
I remember in Bellator just some of those performances and some of those wars. A guy who has a kind of pace like that, who can put such an incredible amount of pressure on people. Is it the wrestling that sticks out to you about him, or is kind of always come forward tenacious style, or what is it that you admire?
It's just a bit of everything really, because his wrestling is really good. Watching his Oliveira fight when he has Oliveira strapped to his back and he's jumped in the air. It's the highlight reels I think where in fights he's come. Was it the fight with Eddie Alvarez that went the full five, and that was just it could have gone either way, like mental fight. But off the top of my head, I can't really pick a certain attribute from him because he is just an all round fighter, isn't he? More of a wrestler
Yeah,
than anything, I believe. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But I feel like it was that base that contributed to it, right? It allowed him, much like the Diaz guys, and they were doing triathlons, they were doing the kind of cardio that you need to be able to push it hard in any type of fight. By the way, it wasn't Monhoff I was thinking of. It was like the KJ Noons and the Frank Shamrock fight when he was talking smack. He didn't fight Monhoff. That was something else I had in my head. That was Lawler Monhoff. Have you seen Robbie Lawler versus Melvin Monhoff?
no, I haven't. But I will give it a watch later on if you
Get
recommend
on
it. I'll give it a watch. Yeah,
get on YouTube, man. That's some of the
yeah.
nastiest leg kicks you'll ever see. And Lawler was like done. I mean done. And he comes back and knocks him out. Um, let's talk about what's happening this coming month. What do you expect in this fight?
Um, yeah. So I'm expecting him to come out strong. A lot of overhands. Is I watched his previous fight. He throws a lot of loop and overhands, but not necessarily they were connecting. Because I'm a longer fighter, I'm going to be keeping it at my range. I'm not really going to want him to get in closer to me. Um, Realistically, everyone wants a knockout, don't they? But yeah, I'm going for a decision. If the knockout arises, opportunity arises, then I'll take my chance. But yeah, I reckon a decision win.
What have you been working on in training? Have you been working on fighting long and effective, or is there something that you're trying to implement to get the W on this show?
Yeah, just fighting long. I've got a few tricks in the bag that I won't let the cat out of the bag really with them. But yeah, so hopefully keep it long, keep it at my range. Don't really let him get close. If he gets close, fair enough. Just get out as quick as possible.
Do you feel pressure?
No,
Do you
I've
ever
got the men.
do you feel anticipation? Is it more of an opportunity for you?
Um, yeah, it's just a great opportunity to be honest. To put a show on really. Yeah, I don't know. It's just when I first stepped into the gym, I kind of loved it, and then when I first stepped into the cage, I loved it even more. So I think it's just for me to get in there, overcome. It is a mental battle as well. I had a session yesterday where everything just got to me. I was a bit emotional, um, But yeah, it's just a mental battle. Get myself ready for it, and should be all right.
It sounds to me, and also even speaking to your younger brother, you guys are kind of addicted to this. But if a stranger walked up to you on the street and asked you, why do you fight? What would you tell them?
Um, I think it is just the respect in the gym. It makes you, it does make you find who you are. Some people come in, you wouldn't expect them to be any different. They might be different outside the gym, but when they come here, they are like respectful. There's nothing in our gym. There's no like, oh, I don't really like this guy. I don't really like this guy. Everyone's like a big team. Um, and yeah, so if there's anything that I'm sort of like worrying about, I'll go to the gym, sort it out, come out of the gym, and it's not on my mind anymore. So
What's the
I
hardest?
think it is.
Yeah, what's the hardest thing you've ever had to do in the gym?
It's probably Nat's fitness at the start of her K1 sessions. Yeah, they're a bit. I'm getting better, definitely. But yeah, they were a bit tough at the start. But yeah,
If there was a sleeper on this next fight card, you told me to watch out for your younger brother. Tell the world
yeah,
why.
because he's only 17 and he's shown his ability at 17. Um, I sparring with him, I see massive potential. But he is still young. He's still got a lot to learn. Um, Maybe sometimes he gets a bit too aggressive, but once he learns to control that, I believe he'll be a brilliant fighter, and you'll see him in a big promotion soon. 100%.
And your day job is a solar engineer,
Yeah, yeah,
but
um,
the Royal Marines Commando is in the long view. Why?
yeah, yeah. That's my background where I grew up. I grew up on a Royal Marine camp, lived there for 10 years. My dad was in the military, so yeah, like it's sort of carry on the family tradition, really, just keep it going. So yeah, I've been messed around a little bit, but application's gone in, waiting for a reply now. But this fight basically gave me another reason to get fit. I've kind of put all my eggs in one basket with the kickboxing fight rather than the Marines, but I love it. So yeah,
Do you think you'll have an edge being a fighter going into that? And the basic training is, I think it's probably the most of all the regular kind of infantry type units in the British Armed Forces. It's one of the more intense, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Yeah, um, I think yeah, it will definitely give me an edge. The ability to just grit my teeth and keep going, like inspiring when you're sparring a bigger guy and they keep hitting you and you're like, this is getting annoying now, but you have to keep going. You still got a few minutes left of the round. That's going to give me the determination to get through it. If I'm struggling, grit my teeth, keep going, head down.
If I gave you an A, B, C, the greatest fighter is the most technical and the highest skilled. B has the most wins, or C is always exciting and entertaining. What would you pick and why?
Exciting and entertaining, because that's where the money is. If you're exciting and entertaining, that's going to bring you in the money. Take Conor McGregor. He is an entertainer, and look where he is now. He's very rich, very rich. So yeah, definitely that.
Do you think that's like what makes people want to watch a show? It isn't necessarily, the guy is consensus number one in the world. It's the guy is consensus number one, the must see TV. Is that what makes people want to watch an event these days? Because some people say we're in the entertainment era of combat sports. There's Logan Paul, there's Floyd Mayweather doing the Jake Paul, all these different things that have happened, with Floyd and Connor, or promotions like Triller, Fame MMA, Showstar Boxing in London. All these big, even Martin Ford versus the Iranian Hulk was supposed to happen. Did you see that? That actually got canceled. But
Yeah, yeah.
do you think that's what matters? Is it about captivating the minds of people about the potential excitement or unknown, the freak show, the spectacle?
I think it's really 50-50. There's 50% of people that watch it because they enjoy combat sports, 50% of people that watch it because they see this guy's big and they're like, oh, I want to see what he's about, and they get entertained by who he is, his character, and the way he is in the ring and cage. So yeah, 50-50. People that watch it because they enjoy it, and people that watch it because they like fighting.
And why should people, in summary, wrap this one up, why should people tune in to watch you on May 21 in Supreme Championships?
So I'm going to put on a show. I'm going to show what the Harper brothers are about. 50% of them anyway. Yeah.
Looking forward to it. All right, May 21, fighting in kickboxing, K1 rules, is that right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. We look forward to seeing you there. Adam Harper, who will be joined by Josh Harper. We'll be talking to Josh, I'm sure, later. Go back, check out all the previous stuff from the Harper brothers. And we look forward to seeing you guys May 21.
Yeah.
Shout out
to the Supreme Gym. Yeah. And the boys. The boys.
All right. We got Supreme behind them and in Supreme Championships. May 21. Thanks again for tuning in, and have a great rest of the day. All right, Adam?
Cheers, bro. Thank you very much.